Hey everybody, this is Sherry and here with CPR Craft Pray Repeat, and we're going to work on a card today that features a tailored expressions, faith, hope, and love stamp set. Here I'm just cutting out my mask for my image, and I just used a full sheet Post-it. You can put whatever image in here you want. You can, use a digi and make it as big as you want, so that's up to you. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the new Distress Oxides from Tim Holtz, and it is, now mine were gifted to me by a friend, so mine are a little juicy right now. So I don't know how if you buy the regular pad, exactly how it would work. So, just keep that in mind when you're watching this. And I will put all of the names of all of the colors that I use. And I just picked like 5 words out of the sentiment set, and and to decide, what I wanted the card to say. And I wanted it to let this person know that to have faith, everything's going to be all right, to have hope, know that I love them, know that I'm praying for them. But yet, I kind of wanted it to be funny too. I wanted it to be something that reassured them that God was going to take care of everything, but also, gave them a laugh and a smile at the same time. And that will be what you see in the inside of the card. Now I'm just finishing up here with the stamping, and I didn't use any line. I mean, I could have put it in my STD, my stamp transfer device my husband made me, or something like that, but I wasn't picky. I just was tickled to get them on there, and I think I did pretty good. I think they're pretty straight, so I'm happy. Now, if you're going to watch here, and I will be putting the next word on. Well, I don't know if it's because my ink pad's too juicy or because it's the type of inks they are, but it actually bled through the mask. And so originally my unicorn was going to be white. Well, it no longer was white because it had pink on it. Well, and I guess I should be thankful it was pink. So I was able to make it a pink unicorn. And so I'm just finishing up, and I tried to stagger the words so that no two were, right next to each other. And I wanted it to go off the edges and things like that, so it looked like a piece that I had cut out. Now here I am, I'm peeling my mask back, and right there on the front leg you can see the little bit of pink, and I'm like, ah, and I was like, okay, don't panic, we're going to paint it, we're going to color it pink. And originally that was one of the colors I had picked out for the hair and the mane and the tail, but when that happened, we just work around it. We keep going, and I think it actually does pretty good being covered up once I've gotten all the layers on. So, I mean, I think it worked out all right. It's just, it wasn't the way I originally wanted. But you just go with what you got here, folks. Go with what you got and make the best of it. There's no sense in putting yourself through, oh, it's going to be perfect. It's not perfect, so I'm going to have to start all over. No, don't start all over. Nobody's perfect. So just do your best. Have fun. It's crafting, folks. It's meant to be fun. And, oh, there, sorry, my alarm went off. By now, Sherry, you should not be sleeping this late, it's saying. But I've been up, so see, I was ahead of it. I'm doing good today. And so I'm just putting my highlight in the center like I do everything. I pretty much always shoot color as if the sun was shining directly onto the object. That way the center is lighter, and then there's more shadow on the ends, which also gives the appearance of roundness. So here I go. I'm just using a couple colors. Most of them I use 3 colors for the hair, but there is, I think, one that I only use 2 colors for. Let me see. Well, I guess there's 2 of them. Nope, just one, a blue-green that I do. I just use 2 colors because there just was not enough space, to really worry about it. And so I go back in, I put in my lightest, my darkest, my mid-tone, and then go back over everything for my highlight again. And I tried doing some the other day where I put my mid-tone first because I know I can be heavy-handed, but I don't know, it just bugged me. And I think if I practiced it that way, I would be okay. But I'm so used to doing it this way that it just felt so awkward to me that it just drove me nuts. So I think I just need to try not to be so heavy-handed so I can leave a little bit more of a highlight. And so this was fun to do. And I really hope that it works the way I intended it to, which is to, share the gospel, let the person know that I'm sending this to, that the Lord's got their back, everything's going to be all right. But, still at the end, it's from Sherry, and it's from Sherry because it's got something funny. It's like, just couldn't stop it, letting you know I love you and care about you. Got to make you laugh too. So we're finishing up the tail, and then we're going to move on to just do the hooves and the little part on the horn. Now, I do end up using a couple colors on the horn, even though it was so tiny. A couple places I only used 1, but I think for the most part I used 2 on it. And it wasn't, nothing fancy there. I'm just going in with the R20 and putting pink in the ears and then pink on the little unicorn to give her a pretty healthy little smiley glow. And here's where I go, and I put in that you just use 2 colors for her hooves. And I am, again, sticking with the colors that I chose for the hair. I didn't want to introduce in another color, and since this was the one that had the least amount used in the image, I figured it was perfect for the hooves. It, added a little bit more of that color and just kind of balanced itself out. It didn't look like, well, what color? Why is that color there? So I wanted it to all kind of blend and mesh together. And so now I'm just taking my W1 and my W0 to put just like a little shadow, nothing fancy, and my colorless blender over that. And it's because I wanted to give her, I didn't want it to look like she was floating in mid-air, but I also didn't want anything that was really overwhelming or stood out too much, because I want the words to kind of be the center, of focus here, the focus of the card. Now here I cut it at 3 5/8 by 4 13/16, and I know that's an odd size. That's because I only wanted 1/8 of an inch border around with the purple. Now the rest of these I go with a 1/4 inch border, and it makes it much easier to cut out, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And there's my Recollections 110-pound pink cardstock for the base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just lining it up here. And that's it, guys. There's the front of the card. And now we're going to open it up and do the inside. And this is the part that I hope brings the smile and the laugh. And I just get it lined up there where I know my mat is crooked, but it's right directly in front of me. And there it says, sugar is sweet, lemons are tart, I love you more than a unicorn fart. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Remember to practice your CPR, Craft, Pray, Repeat. Bye.